part of you feels like lucky that you get to experience that. And I think watching your teammates, the staff be so happy, it's so nice that everyone gets to have that moment and to share it. And as well for the fans, just seeing how happy it makes everyone. And it's just that collective sort of euphoria that, yeah, you just can't beat. You're literally lifting a piece of metal in the air, but like it's so special.
Hello and welcome to We Are Chelsea, the official podcast of Chelsea Women, brought to you in association with Skoda, the official car partner of Chelsea Women and proud supporters of women's sport. Well, the Blues are the WSL champions for the 5th season running. They sealed the title after a huge 6-0 win over Manchester United and gave Emma Hayes the perfect send-off on the final day. And she's now departing for the US of A. And what a season it has been. I'm Kaz Demores, and here to relive it all with me is Chelsea left-back Niamh Charles. Welcome to We Are Chelsea. Well, Niamh, welcome back to the pod, or welcome to the pod. We're so happy to have you. And I've got to start by saying congratulations on winning the WSL title. How are you and have you recovered?
Thank you. Well, yeah, I wish I could go and relive it, honestly. It was just such a good day. Everything about it and the celebrations after, it was just, yeah. I just wish I could relive it because they're just such special weekends. But yeah, very, very happy and yeah, very, very proud.
I mean, it looked like very emotional scenes on the pitch. Talk us through the atmosphere and then, of course, celebrating with the fans after.
Yeah, well, to be honest, after the game, everyone was celebrating and I just started crying, which is like, that just is just so... I didn't obviously expect to, and like I haven't ever done that before, but I think it was just the relief of... It's been a lot the past few weeks and like, for some reason I just couldn't stop crying and everyone was just looking at me and laughing. But it was, yeah, that moment afterwards and then like the amount of fans we had in that little corner and being able to celebrate with them. They were so loud during the game and yeah, it was so special. And yeah, it was just so nice that we were all in that little corner and we all just went there. And there's nothing, I always say it, but there's just nothing better. You can't buy that. That's something you just earn and it's so special and we're also lucky that you get that at the end of the season. Like it's sort of a just reward and yeah, what makes it so special.
I feel like it's what someone would write in a fiction series about football. Like you have a season where you're in 4 trophies and then slowly each one is slipping away from you. And then even this one looked like it had slipped away and you kind of got handed a bit of a second chance. And then it goes down to the final match on the final day of the season and everyone's just like, oh my God. And then you do it and you do it in a huge, incredible way. I mean, I feel like, yeah, it feels unreal. It feels fiction.
Yeah,
it feels
I think
like fiction.
It was, to be honest, before the game, we were also focused on the job. And I think we'd like been in situations before where it was like, you can't get too ahead of yourself. You really need to focus on like actually winning the game first and foremost, not sort of getting carried away. I think to me, it does feel sweeter than like the most sweetest one. And I think it's because we did have disappointments. It has been dramatic. And also when you look at the season as a whole, we have had a lot of challenges that maybe they've been huge challenges, but the way we've been able to cope with them and not make excuses and just carry on and keep showing up and sort of to come out on top at the end with all that had happened. I think that's why towards like at the end of the game when the final whistle went, I was just so relieved and I was just so, yeah, it was just so emotional because of it has been a really tough season, everything we've gone through. And I think I was just so proud of all the players for sort of coming together and yeah, so happy for everyone to sort of get that moment together.
And do you think you can let us in on the celebrations in the dressing room? How much did it go off? I might have seen a little clip of you having champagne poured down your mouth.
Yeah, it was a bit chaotic, to be honest. Like it was a kind of a small changing room and everyone was all over the place coming in and out. Obviously we've been out on the pitch and then there's a few things like we always do country roads and I think we did it a few times actually, but it's like those special moments and then all the staff get involved and yeah, there was quite a bit of champagne being sprayed around and yeah, so it sort of reflected how we all felt. Like we just went, yeah, and the cameras were there to capture a bit of it, unfortunately, but yeah.
How long were you guys partying for afterwards? Surely, I feel like every time I speak to athletes, particularly footballers, they go, we didn't really get to enjoy that one because we've got another game coming up. But surely now you could celebrate.
Yeah, that's another thing why it was so special, because in years gone by and the first few years there was COVID, so obviously understandably you couldn't celebrate. And then I remember in previous years with the FA Cup, we literally had a game 3 days later and it was to play for the league as well. And it's just a winning thing. You're just constantly going on it and on it. So it was actually really nice that we stayed that night and we were actually able to all enjoy it together. And that's like something I look forward to. It's you work so hard with these people all year and then you all stay together and you can have sort of that last night before you all kind of go off and do your own thing. But that last night together to sort of, reflect on the season and sort of blow off steam and just celebrate. That's like I just find it so special. Like whenever you win something, I just want to celebrate with the people there. Like that's what's so great about team sport.
Absolutely. I mean, I know that you're really competitive. And so how high was this high?
Yeah, it was. I actually was saying to my mum yesterday, like it's the emotions of the last few weeks, the few months, like they're really extreme. Like it is quite a lot to sort of, deal with. But like obviously the highs are, they're so good. And it's what makes you keep wanting it more and more. It doesn't get old at all. It's like each one sort of feels better and then you're chasing the next one because it's so, and Emma said it before the game as well, or in like the days leading up to it, it's like, it's always worth it, always.
Oh, I love that. I love that she said that. Well, 5 titles in a row. Yeah. That is unbelievable. How proud are you of the team and that achievement?
Yeah, I think it's hard to, when you're in it, to be like, to sort of zoom out and be like, yeah, this is what we've done. But I think it is so impressive. And that's the first thing I learned about winning the league, maybe the first time, or what people said. It's like, that's the consistency. It's like you can't really hide from that. You have to show up throughout the year. It's a long season. There's lots of things going on. And to win the league, and to win the league one year is like consistency. But to do it 5 times in a row is, it's pretty special. And I think every season's been unique. And this one's probably, I mean, I wasn't here for the first one, but this one's probably felt the most challenging in terms of maybe things we couldn't control or things like that. So, it was, it's really special, but hopefully we go and do another one.
I've got to touch on Emma, it being her last season. She's off to the US now. This is the 7th time that she's won the WSL title. How emotional was she? Yeah,
I think it's just imagining, it must be so much that stand alone, anytime you win it, it's like this euphoric feeling. But to add on all of that of end of such a long period of time, to end it in like the perfect way again after what sort of has happened this season, I'm so happy for her that she got that, and to go out in that way, it's like, it's what she deserves.
Yes.
And it was just so it's what she deserves. She's earned it, and hopefully those memories will live on for a long time. And just seeing it was just perfect. It was perfect.
It's difficult because in the time that she's been here, she has achieved so much. She's part of Chelsea's history, especially she's part of the fabrics, part of the furniture. No season could take away from what she's achieved. But as it got closer, I was just thinking, if she doesn't win a trophy on her last season, it would just be that cherry on the top. She would just leave on such a high, which feels so deserving for someone who's put so much into it. So it felt, from the outside looking in, like a fairy tale ending for her. Do you think she felt the same, and do you think that was expressed in her emotions at the end?
Yeah, I think so, but also I just know that she's such a winner that, like, even like for all of us, it was, I think if we'd have ended the season without a trophy, we'd then think about it, but we were all just so focused on getting that trophy that maybe we hadn't sort of let ourselves think about it too much. It was very like practical, like that's how she is. And like in the last few weeks I've been speaking to her after training about sort of her leaving and what it's going to be like, but actually And I just sort of said to her, like, you've done so much now that even though you're leaving, like, it's in the walls. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're still, like, it's what you've built here is in the walls, and I feel a responsibility and other players feel a responsibility that's not we're gonna only build on that.
Let's delve into the game. You touched on some words that Emma said to you all in the days leading up to it, but what was the message from Emma going into the game?
The first one, like she said for a few weeks, was, first of all, we've been given a second chance. Don't make sure you don't need a third one. And then in the same breath, you've been given a second chance, but actually that means nothing. We're the ones that have to actually go and take it, which is also really difficult. And then sort of on the day, she was just like, I want you to enjoy it. I want to see you playing freely out there and sort of really enjoy the occasion. And yeah, I think we did, and everyone sort of showed up. And yeah, when we're in that sort of like rhythm and that flow, it's so nice to be a part of. And yeah, the girls really showed up.
Let's talk about the feeling in the dressing room before, pressure, nerves, excitement, because how do you prepare for such a big game when you know the title is on the line?
I think with experience, it's like a big sort of, it is a big moment, it's a big day, there's a lot of pressure around it, but I think you sort of, well, the way I approach it is like you sort of feel that and you allow yourself to feel it, and then you sort of break it down to actually, what do I need to focus on for just the game? So what's going to help us win just this game? And then you sort of like, you can sort of park the things to the side, sort of the occasion, what it means, because practically if you get yourself sort of caught up in that, it's not gonna help the game. So I think everyone was sort of aware of the occasion, but we had lots of conversation. I think it's good to speak about it, be like, it's a big occasion, but this is actually what we need to focus on. And like, you sort of come together and just make sure you're all on the same page, and yeah, that you're just ready to go to actually execute on the pitch. I
mean, it felt like within the first 10 minutes, it was a dream start. Yeah. You guys came out of the blocks fast and you were 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Did it feel like a dream start?
Yeah, it did. It was so nice, like, to get that first goal, and it almost happened in slow motion when I was watching it. It just landed perfectly on Myra's head. Like, when Guru's in that position, and there's not many other people, I'd say, go on cross it from that far in the outer corridor, and one player in the box. But I think that perfect combination, to see it go in the back of the net, it was amazing. But I actually didn't celebrate a goal, I don't think, until like Fran's goal. I didn't even bother running. I was just, great, let's carry on. And I think a lot of people were aware of that like, even at 2-0, like, it's a dangerous scoreline. Like, you know, United are going to keep fighting. That you have to really be on it. And I think we've seen it in the past where games can change quickly. So I think it was a dream start, but I at least I'm always a bit sort of, not the pessimist, but like, till it really happens, I just want to be like on my toes and prepared, not sort of in dreamland. But it was, they did start pretty well.
I mean, and then you beat Man United 6-0 away. Mm-hmm. That is just some going. What do you think clicked to make you guys not only win, but I guess win by such a margin?
I think...
What did you all have for breakfast that day? That's what I want to know.
I think what's like, I say it's like in the walls, is like we have this ability, or we seem to have in the last few years, of when the pressure's really on, that's when we sort of all fall together and all come together, and it happens more often than not. And that, big occasions, big players, and a big club and a big team, and I think that's what we pride ourselves on in those big moments. It's actually having the mentality to stand up and sort of show up and make it count. And that's not to say that there's been other occasions this season where we've let ourselves down in that, but that we know we have the ability to do that. And I think, that day everyone showed up, sort of came together, and there was, I think we just channeled it into the desire to win. And I think we were all very aware that it was on us, what we had to go out and do. And that feeling when you're on the pitch, it's just so special when you feel connected to your teammates and you're all sort of one. It's not like in isolation.
And also because Man City were playing Villa, so if they won, you knew that it would come down to goal difference. Mm-hmm. Is that something that you guys know and is going on in your heads, or do you completely block out what's going on in the other match?
I think I'd had experience this year of when we were trying to qualify for the Olympics, like in the wrong way, we were playing against Scotland, and obviously the Netherlands were playing, and it was going to come down to goal difference, and we were scoring a lot, but then our game finished and they scored another one. So I was very aware that even though our scoreline might be good, that was like a lesson for me in that moment, that you never think, oh, that'll be enough. So I think in that game, that was my mindset. Like I'd had that experience, and like I didn't want that to happen again. But Emma was definitely like, she'd said to the staff, I don't want to know anything unless I need to know anything. So it was definitely during the game, like it wasn't like, this is the score. I just had to like trust, like, we've not heard anything, it's fine, like keep focusing on us. Even, I think I just had this mindset of like, because of the last experience, I was just waiting for it to be like, no, you've got to do this. But thankfully that never came. And I think Emma dealt with it well, that we really just focused on ourselves. And that it was very much like, well, we did have to just focus on this game as well. I think if we'd got carried away into that sort of narrative and comparing the two, we can't control what's going on in that game.
Okay, so it would have maybe changed the mentality, maybe going into the match, if you'd known that you needed to score more and you have to win it on goal difference. But I guess Emma sort of shielded you guys from that. And she just said, I'll let you know if basically you on a need to know basis.
To be fair, she never actually said it in front of the whole team. Like I spoke to her individually. Like it really was like we just didn't address it. It was for the whole team. It was just about our game. So it wasn't something that was spoken about at all. And even with the Tottenham game as well, it was definitely, and I think that was the lesson we took from Liverpool, was that you have to focus on winning the game first, and then we'll deal with what comes next. And so it wasn't even spoke about as a collective really at all.
Okay. I mean, that's me being nosy, trying to pretend I'm a player and get in on Emma's team talks. Let's talk about Maya Ramirez, because she had an amazing game. 2 goals, 2 assists. Tell us about her performance and how crucial she's going to be going into next season.
Yeah, she's an actual beast, and we're so lucky to have her. Like, she was sublime. Like, it was sort of Maya's world and we were just living in it. And I think, she's a powerhouse. She can create something out of nothing herself, and having those players on your team so special and so important, and I'm so happy for her. Like she'd had an injury, and it's so impressive as well to come off. She hadn't even completed a full training session, and to go and deliver that, it is so impressive. And that speaks to the professional she is, the quality that she has just within her. Also to the medical staff who did. I know Yao, the physio, was working really closely with her, and like that's something that behind the scenes he did so much to sort of produce that on the day. And for her as well, it was just a special, it was so impressive. And we're very lucky to have her, and like going into next season, hopefully she can only get better. And she's like hit the ground running with us, and it's only been 6 months, and I mean, she's done so well in her first 6 months, but hopefully we can keep getting better and better and sort of build with her.
Now, Niamh, I don't know if you know this, but this podcast is brought to you by Skoda, who are the official car partner of Chelsea Women, and they are proud supporters of women's sport. Now, I know that you own a Skoda, but you and your family are big Skoda fans. That's true, right?
Yeah, I own, we are a Skoda garage at home, so obviously, and I drive a very nice one at the moment, but I've kept my other one as well, can't part with it. And at home we have multiple Skodas, and my first car, it's just a Skoda family. Like my first car was a Skoda, and it's stayed in the family. That'll probably be my brother's car, and my dad got me onto it, and stayed loyal ever since. And the car I drive now I absolutely love, and every day I just love getting into it.
What car are you? Are you in an Enyaq now?
I'm in an Enyaq coupe at the moment, and it's a dream. I absolutely love it, and all the little gadgets and whatnot, and the fact that it's Skoda makes it even better. And it is a dream car partnership for me, so I was very, very happy about it.
That's brilliant. Well, I've also heard that the Skoda Kodiaq is an all-new 7-seater. So if you were to give lifts to your other teammates, that's the one that you can. But maybe you don't fancy giving people lifts and sticking with the one that you've got.
Well, I actually was toying between that one as well. And then I was like, I don't think I need, like, there's literally me in the car majority of the time. Like, I don't have that many friends. Like, I don't think I need that. So I went for the slightly smaller one. But I'm thinking future dogs, like 7-seater. I had 7-seaters when I was growing up. So, they do it all.
Okay. Well, I will be your friend to try out this new Skoda. But I'm just one person, so I can fit in whichever one you've got, your old one or your new one. And is it true that no one is allowed to control the tunes in your car when you're driving?
No, I don't mind you being the DJ, but if you start to tell me about anything you're driving, I'm just like, excuse me, I'm the one that's driving. So you can be DJ and you can be a good DJ, but if you start trying to be like, or like, you should go that way, it's like, I'm aware, I'm the driver.
Okay, she's competitive and likes to be in control of the steering wheel.
Yeah, but you be a good DJ, that's your responsibility.
For those listening, if you're interested in learning more about Skoda, search the Skoda range online now. And what a brilliant moment for Fran as well, scoring on her final appearance for the club. But how much will Fran be missed?
Yeah, it was so special, and I think it was such a Fran goal as well, that it was just like intricate play from Sophie. They've played together for years and she practices those kind of finishes all the time after training. And it was like, again, it was like slow-mo, that it's such a Fran goal where it's her and the keeper to beat and she knows exactly the finish that she's going to do. And it was so special to see her be at that end, go and celebrate with the fans, and also to see how happy the rest of the team was for her. And yeah, I think we'll miss her experience, her ability on the ball. She's a special player. She knows what it means to be Chelsea, but also because we've just been in this bubble. I know I keep saying it, but I don't think I'll ever actually realise it until we come back for pre-season. I'm very much like in the moment, like I can't imagine her not being here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally understand. What do you think, if you could describe to us who have never won a WSL title, what goes through your head when the final whistle goes and you know that you've just won?
I mean, this time it was complete relief. Like I know I said I just started crying. I was just like, we did it. Like it was just a weight off my shoulders, that it had been stressful. I mean, maybe for other players they experience it differently, but honestly, this is what I experienced this time. It was just pure relief that we did it. Everything was against us. So many people wrote us off, that it was just like, yeah, we did it. And I was just so proud of the team that, just the fact that we did it. And in the moment, like it wasn't so much as like celebrating that feeling. It was just like, I just want to sit down and like, yes, we did it. And like, even in like the pictures and the clips, I think you can just kind of see that I'm just like, thank God. Like it was just satisfaction, you know, like just, yes, we did it. And I also really like that it's like, it was, that's just my pure natural reaction. It was just, thank God.
And then a little bit later, when you actually lift the trophy, because every time I see a footballer put their hands on silverware and lift the trophy, it feels like the highest high. I don't really know how else to describe it, but it makes me really jealous. It makes me, I want to know what that feeling is like.
It's like, you just want to do it obviously, maybe you just want to do it every single day. Like it does not get old at all. Like it's so special. And as it happens, you just think it's just so worth it. And like, you've earned it. You're the ones that have sort of come out on top. And like part of you feels like lucky that you get to experience that. And I think watching your teammates, the staff be so happy, just, it's so nice that everyone gets to have that moment and to share it. And as well for the fans, just seeing how happy it makes everyone. And it's just that collective sort of euphoria that, you just can't beat. You're literally lifting a piece of metal in the air, but like it's so special.
Who in the team leads the celebrations?
I say we have different people come alive at different times. I'd say Soph is always a consistent one. Like she's just she gets it started. And I don't know if you've seen, she always does that cheers in front of in front of us. Like there's some traditions that we have, so she's always a good one.
I think I was expecting you to say Millie Bright. I think just because I saw so many clips of Millie just singing and going wild.
Millie, that's what I mean. Everyone has their different things. Like Keish just loves to dance, and like everyone just does their own little thing, and that's why I really like it. I like to see how everyone sort of celebrates in the moment. Like some people are going wild, like spraying drinks around. Some people are just dancing. Some people are like sat down, and everyone kind of does it in their own way, and then it's really nice when you have like collective things that you all celebrate together, like country roads, like with the staff. Like I know how special it is for the staff as well, because they all come in on it as well. And like one of the staff said to me, like that's almost more than like anything else. It's that moment is doing that, having that song on, because it's sort of like a sign that we've done it again, you know.
Now, we've talked about this season being a bit of a roller coaster with ups and downs. If you can look back and sum up this season, what would you say?
I'd say it's been attritional. Like it's felt long. There's been some really good moments. There's been some really hard moments on and off the pitch. That it's not gone as smoothly, and there's definitely been challenges, but I think to end it with that WSL, it makes it feel better. But also there's a part of me that's also grateful that going into next season we'll be better off for those experiences and we'll have learnt through them. And I do think towards the end whereas maybe in the past we've been more experienced to not sort of let slip-ups happen, this year the slip-ups have happened unfortunately, but we've learned quite quickly and been able to kind of be aware of it going into the next games towards the end of the season. So hopefully into next season, I mean, we had so many new players this year, and hopefully next season will be even better for it. And we can just get even better.
100%. I mean, as a fan, if you could say, do you want a roller coaster season, but you win it on the final day, knowing that that's going to be the outcome, we'd be like, yeah, that's what we choose. But when you don't know what the outcome is, the nerves going into that final game was just so, it was just white knuckle time. Yeah. But it ended really well. So for you now, what happens? Holiday?
Well, we have camp on Monday, so
on Monday.
Yeah, so we're training this week. Well, everyone's sort of with their national teams sort of dictated to. Everyone's got a slightly different thing, but for me personally, I'll be training this week, going into camp. We've got some really tough games, and then having a little bit of a break, and then another camp. So it's although domestically the season's finished, it definitely sort of hasn't, which is kind of a weird thing. It's like a weird the way it happens, but everyone's in the same boat, I guess.
Well, I guess it's true, because you're going to face France on the 31st of May. How much are you looking forward to that game? Yeah,
I think it'll be a really, really tough test, and it's sort of, we're going to have to be on our toes for it, and they're a top side, and it'll be an exciting game, and just a top level game.
And you obviously were called up to the England squad for the next set of European qualifiers. How do you feel every time you know that you've been called up?
To be fair, every time we sing the national anthem for a game, I've always done it ever since I was a kid in the youth team setup. But I always, the moment I start singing it, I'm like, I wonder if this will be the last time. So every time,
oh, really?
Every time it's really nice. There's no bigger honour, and it's really special. And also for Aggie getting called up as well, I think that was when it was we were in the building when it happened, and it was really special for us all to be she's really earned it, and to sort of share in that moment with her as well. So that'll be really special, and to go and play for your country, it's what you dream of.
Can you give us a final word on Emma? Because when you arrive back at Cobham, I know you said you can't imagine the team without Fran, but can you imagine the team without Emma? It's going to be a completely different place. How do you think the team are feeling about it? Have you all talked?
I think it's the same. It's the exact same thing as that. Obviously, I know that she's not going to be there, but actually experiencing it is another thing. I can't put myself. Also, because I'm focused on right now, and then I have camp, then I have another camp. That's definitely sort of. I have other things that I'm sort of focusing on more. I think, although we all know that she's not going to be there, for me personally anyway, it'll be once you sort of get used to the new reality, then it'll be oh wait, she's not actually here, because it's all I've ever known since I've been to Chelsea. I don't know what the other girls think about it. They may be better at just sort of, I don't know. Yeah, that's just how I experience it. But I think we're all sort of, I think we're all just finished the season. We've got our own national teams to focus on now. And then I think after that, we'll sort of refocus back on what it will look like. And but I think we'll all...
it probably doesn't feel real. Yeah, I think as you say. Because I think even as a fan, I'm like, oh, she's going, it's really sad. But I don't really know until she's actually not there and we've got someone else in and you're going, oh yeah, she actually left. Someone else is in. Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
I think it is that it doesn't feel real, but then, and there will be a lot of change, but then I also think the one thing you can always rely on is like what Chelsea stands for, what we're here at this club for. So it's like, although a lot of things will change, the aims for next year, you can guarantee that they're going to be the same, and like what the sort of club stands for, that won't change. So yeah, that's what I really like about it.
An annoying question probably, but can you give us a final word on her legacy and how much she'll be missed?
Well, there's been so much said about her, and I did say that the other day. I feel like I've been doing stuff, and she said I feel the same. It's been like 6 months of like a lot. She said it's been like a long funeral or something. But yeah, so there's been. But I think she's iconic, and this club has been so lucky to have her. It would be nowhere near this level without her, and I think she's a trailblazer, and as a female to sort of stand up and demand what she's demanded, and she's inspiring so many people, whether it's from coaching, on the pitch, in the workplace in general, to sort of demand what you deserve and sort of break down barriers, open doors that aren't open. And I think that's her legacy beyond being an amazing football coach. I think it's what she sort of stands for her values, and yeah, how she's been able to sort of envision the path and go and make it happen. It's, yeah, she's a very, very strong woman and a very driven woman. And yeah, obviously we wish her all the best. But it also feels like I did say to her, like, what you've been built, it's in the walls. Like, I know you won't be here, but it's what Chelsea stands for, I guess.
Will it feel weird if you're coming up against her?
Yeah, I guess it will. I don't think that, like... But then it will feel weird, but also at the same time, I think we're all used to in the professional game that you have teammates at club that you play against on national team, and it will be. I think we are used to. Maybe it'll feel weird, but there's also a professional time where it's just like, you just go onto it. But yeah, she's been, and also for me personally as well, she's given me so many opportunities and so much trust, and like I'm really grateful that she was sort of at that period of my life when I was maturing from. I was already an adult, but a young adult. That period of my life, like it's important, and I'm glad that she was there for that, and she was the one that was sort of steering me.
Oh, Niamh, listen, thank you so much, because the listeners might not know this, but I do. Niamh's come in, she's just won the title and she's doing media. So thank you so much for coming on the pod, speaking to us. Congratulations again, and enjoy the next few days. I wish I could say the next few weeks, but enjoy the next few days before camp. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you.
Fab, thank you very much. And also, if the fans watching, thank you so much for all your support this year. It doesn't go unnoticed. The team absolutely love you, and yeah, it's really special. So we'll see you next year.
Thank you for listening to We Are Chelsea, the official podcast of Chelsea Women, brought to you in association with Skoda, the official car partner of Chelsea Women and proud supporters of women's sport. Remember to subscribe to the feed, give us a review, and send in your questions to wearechelsea@chelseafc.com. See you next time.